Spider-Man, New York's occasionally beloved superhero. He's a dinosaur puncher, an actual spider sometimes, and even a deal maker with the devil. But we're not talking about that today, oh no. We're talking about the time he was an unexpected guest on Saturday Night Live. I'm Jocelyn the intern, I do all the research nobody else wants to. Live from Death Battle, it's Desk of Death Battle. That went way better inside my head. Okay, so we start this whole thing off way back in the 1970s when Marvel had a comic called Marvel Team Up, which was like 90% Spider-Man teaming up with another hero like Iron Fist or the Hulk. However, there's one very, very different issue where Spider-Man teams up with the not ready for primetime players, which in reality is the cast of Saturday Night Live. Times were different back then, as you can tell by the fact that Bill Murray's name is listed 5th. However, one thing that hasn't changed over the years is plagiarism. Because these guys just straight up jacked the famous intro line of A Tale of Two Cities as we see Mary Jane and Peter Parker arriving at NBC to watch SNL. Oh, and Stan Lee just so happens to be hosting this particular week. Dude, that guy's like everywhere, all the time. Can he like clone himself or something? Oh my god, Stan Lee's a superhero. It all makes sense. Okay, saving that for a different Desk of Death Battle. Okay, moving on. Anyways, Peter and MJ's date hardly even starts before Peter's spider sense goes off and he starts prowling around the building for trouble. It's kind of what he does. Although Spidey might not know the details, we, the reader, have luckily been informed on exactly what's happening. Turns out that John Belushi has gotten his hands on an ancient Japanese ring from a bit of fan mail. If that wasn't a silly enough plot device, Belushi has also gotten the ring stuck on his finger. Oh, and if that wasn't bad enough, the Silver Samurai and a squad of goons are here to take the ring back and likely kill whoever has it. So in short, Belushi is yeah. Obviously, it isn't long until Spider-Man and the SNL cast are all slowly informed of the situation. But in an odd turn of events, it's Bill Murray who's providing all the answers, seeing as he's not only knocked out one of the thugs, but has infiltrated their ranks in order to get all the details of their scheme. Okay, is it just me or is this starting to sound like a Scooby-Doo episode? Like, straight up. The cast all do their part to help fight off the invaders by using their superhero props and a bit of ingenuity. However, not every attempt is successful, like when Garrett Morris dons a Thor outfit and the mobsters quickly point out how odd it is that the Norse god of thunder is black, which is at the very least a quality observation for your typical goon. Sadly, their revelation doesn't really help them because Bill Murray and Gilda Radner electrocute the metal grating that they're standing on. Why they didn't do that in the first place is beyond me, but It's at this point that I'd like to remind you that this is all happening while the show is still going on. With a majority of the henchmen dispatched, the only baddie left is the big one, the Silver Samurai, who's still on the hunt for this mysterious ring. Meanwhile, Belushi is headed to the stage for his next skit, which of course is one of his famous samurai gags. So now that Belushi is entirely dressed as a samurai, complete with katana, it's about time he runs into the Silver Samurai. Naturally, a sword fight breaks out immediately. To everyone's surprise, including the Silver Samurai, Belushi actually has a bit of skill with a sword, although that skill could just be cocaine strength. I mean, it's Belushi after all. Anyway, the samurai disarms Belushi, and with one goal in mind, he grasps at the ring and starts tugging away. It isn't until Spider-Man swoops in, kicking the samurai back, that Belushi's ring finally slides off. Then, out of nowhere, right when you think Silver Samurai is screwed, he announces that the ring is part of something called the teleportation matrix and straight up teleports out of 30 Rock. For some reason, no one even thinks twice about that shit. I mean, it's the 70s. You think they got special effects like teleporting samurais on SNL? I would have been losing my mind. Also, the cast just seems to brush it all off like it was just another Saturday night for them. I mean, half the cast got attacked by a mystical samurai, and an unscripted sword fight took place live on stage. This should not be normal. Police reports should be filed. I don't care if it was only a minor case of kidnapping. You don't just brush that shit off like it's just another wacky day at NBC. You were f***ing kidnapped by armed thugs. Then again, I guess this is the SNL cast most notorious for their love of drugs and alcohol, so maybe this is just another weekend for them. Fun fact, the ring John Belushi got was actually meant for an import-exporter named J.B. Lushi, who has an office in 30 Rock. But thanks to a bit of rain and smudged ink, the post office sent it to dear old John instead. Hate when that happens.